What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. We've got 5 more days until the hunt begins, as the hunter, or vampire hunter, is making its way to Dungeon Defenders 2 on Tuesday, the 24th. Now, Chromatic has given me an opportunity to hop onto this test account and do a little countdown series between now and launch day of the hunter. So today we are going to dive in and take a look at the Spectral Knight. Now, I'm not going to be doing any specific min-maxing on any of the towers. Additionally, all of these numbers, or everything shown, is still work in progress. What we get on launch day is not finalized quite yet. Chromatic is going to be working hard on getting the hunter dialed in all the way up until launch day. So don't take anything to heart, really, as far as any sort of numbers or math you see here with any of the towers. So as I mentioned, today we're going to take a look at the Spectral Knight. Now, first things first, let's take a look at the range. Let's go ahead and get the Spectral Knight without any ascension or anything right to the base of the stair there in front of the seamstress. Really a pretty decent base range to it, but let's see what happens when we give it a little bit of range gambit. So this is with the range gambit maxed. Oh, wait, we get a big gain. You see the range is going way over past the seamstress now, so the Spectral Knight is definitely getting some nice value from range. There's no doubt there. Now, the next thing I wanted to take a look at is what is the... Okay, it looks like it's not attuned to a specific element. Well, what would happen if we would try to attune it to, say, fire? Here's a fire servo relic. Let's take a look at that, and you see it is now attuned to fire, you see, on the little bar. So the Spectral Knight is a tower that we can attune to a particular element. The default attack rate on this one is 2.71 seconds. Let's see what happens when we give it a little bit of attack rate. That takes it down to 1.75. If we go ahead and give it a defense rate shard, gilded, that will cap it out, of course. That takes it to 1.5 seconds. So we get a 1.5 second attack rate on the Spectral Knight. Now, it's 30 DU, so it is going to be relatively cheap. With that in mind, I want to see how spammable or how close together we can get them. It looks like we can build them pretty close. The collision on them is not over the top. It's one of the things I was a little concerned with when I first saw it, since it is kind of a wonky shape. However, you see we can just stack these things right up on top of everything, on top of each other there. So good stuff there. Should be some easy stacking for some massive lane clearing. Alright, now let's set this up with just a generic setup. Now keep in mind, I don't have any gear, no pet, so I'm not getting any pet empowerment stats. Additionally, I'm not going to be using any of the defense-specific shards, which we don't have the complete list of those yet. However, we do know that, you know, it's very likely literally every defense will have some sort of shard for it. So there will be defense-specific shards that come along with each of the defenses here. We're not going to be taking a look at those. But if we took this Spectral Knight and let's give it, say, a defense rate mod at Chaos 10, with defense rate out of the way, that gives us an opportunity to stack up, say, mass destruction and a little destruction. What do we use as a third? I think let's leave that empty right now, just to get a general idea of how this defense will look. Now remember, this is after the stat squish. The stat squish is indeed in order here. We will go ahead and max out the ascension for it, though. Let's go ahead and get that jacked. So our Spectral Knight damage is, you know, it's missing its defense-specific shard. Additionally, it's missing any sort of empowerment stat. But let's take a look at, well, the range on it is just quite nice. Especially for something that has that AoE clear like it does. But let's get these stacked down, and let's give it all of the love. So, let's say we get a boost aura in. Let's go ahead and give it a little destructive pylon as well. Do I have destructive pylon there? I do. Let's give it a little destructive pylon. And then to top it all off, let's give it a buff beam too. Let's just really set this thing up for success here. A little wonky there because I placed them so close. And we can see these guys really getting after it. The tooltip DPS on them, right at about 1.7 million. You see the attack damage is 2.1 million. But it's hitting every 1.5 seconds. The main thing here is you've got an attunable defense with an AoE clear. So we go ahead and jack these all the way up. We should see some real nice things start to happen with this one. I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. I'm excited about a few of the defenses and playing the Hunter actively. However, this one is looking pretty darn snazzy. So remember, like I said, take in mind that the stat squish has happened. However, these are all work in progress numbers. So what you're seeing here is not the final state of what we will get launched into the game. However, this is where it sits right now. So I don't know. These are kind of cool. It's not a projectile, so you're not going to need a piercer servo. I mean, I really like what I'm seeing here with it. I like the fact that it could be attuned. Is this potentially the next thing in the mix, besides like proton beams for getting petrified? You know, what kind of elemental combo would you want to use? Well, I mean, the sky's the limit, as you can set these up however you want to set them up. So definitely a super cool looking defense. Once again, this hero will be available for play on Tuesday, October 24th, so it is incoming. We're going to be hitting on a little different thing every day over the next few days up until launch. However, this is going to be an exciting one, so get ready to check it out in Dungeon Defenders 2 in just 5 more days. But that will do it for now. Thanks an absolute ton for watching, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.